Today I'm going to talk about the solar build that I am doing. Here is my electrical shed. Let's go take a look. Well, it's a little murky today, so it's a little dark in here. Need to shed some light on the subject. What we have here is my Tristar TS-60 charge controller, showing that everything is in a state of discharge. And as we do this, I'm going to go ahead and hook up this light. While we're doing that, I have two inverters, an old Chicago Electric I actually got from a lady who was divorcing her husband. Paid $25 for this 5,000 watt inverter that does work. I've had it for 2 years. I've used it with a non-solar off-grid deal where I use a generator to charge batteries, and it has worked perfectly. I also have this Energizer, which is noisy, and I'm going to replace it. I paid $45 for that 1,000 watt inverter. I've had that for 2 years as well, and it works just fine. Here's my trimetric. And currently my batteries under load are sitting at 12.3 volts. I'm pulling 11 amps from the batteries. I'm running a 12 volt system, so you understand. And I've used 21% of my batteries overnight from full. And we'll leave it on current draw. Here's my crude connection. I run this. This little contraption died on me 2 days after I got it. The case got cracked. These are my lines coming in from the solar array. I'm actually using number 2 aluminum. Number 2 aluminum. If you understand wiring, you double up your wires. 2 wires of the same gauge will equal a wire size of 3 gauges higher. So in this case, I'm using two gauge connections. That would put you at 1/2 2/0 equivalent aluminum gauge wire. Same down here. I'm using a 2 and a 4. These are my negatives. These are my positives. These are my negatives coming in from the solar array in the combiner box I made. This one actually does work. Make sure when you tighten these you do not crack the case, as was the case here. I don't know if I can even see that on camera. It's a little too dark, but there's a crack on the case, and if you crack the case, my fingernail is right on the crack. If you crack the case, of course the thing is useless. I made a mistake and over torqued it when I was tightening up this copper lug. Now we have my 2 copper bus bars. This is my positive. There's my shunt for my trimetric. There's my negative. And the batteries I am using. This is a US battery scrubber battery I've had for 2 years. It's a 12 volt battery. And then I purchased 2 new Sam's Club Duracell GC2s. And so far everything has been working great with our solar. There's my specific gravity meter, so I can check these batteries at least once a week. I check the batteries and the water level. Another breaker between the Energizer. I've got to hook this breaker up. I bought one, it failed, so here's my replacement. There's my good old kilowatt. And that right there is satellite internet, for those who are curious. And I was using this as my backup. I have not had to use that in a few weeks now, and that is pleasurable. Here's my little voltmeter for checking things out. Now let's go out and take a look at the little solar array. Of course, it is a cloudy day, like I said, so there's nothing being generated. And right now I'm running 5 panels. These 2 are Renogy 100 watt monocrystalline, and these 3 are Solar Fennel. I'll tell you about Solar Fennel. These are good panels. However, they advertise them as monocrystalline. I ordered them off of eBay. These are 120 watt panels, and they sent me polycrystalline. I complained. They wanted me to ship the panels back, take a 10% hit. I decided, well, you know, all I wanted really was the price difference between what they sold polys for and monos, which might have been about 15 or 20 bucks. Some things you write off as a wash. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you know, it'll cost me more in time, energy, and burning gas while the panels are gone. This is my combiner box. And right now I'm just running 2 breakers. I've paralleled the panels together, and I'm running 2 20 amp breakers so I can safely do everything. I'm going to upgrade everything to a bunch of 15 amp breakers. And I'll need another box because our goal is to run 10 panels, but this is the first 5 panels we've picked up. The next 5 we'll pick up this coming week or so, and we'll have 10 panels, 1100 watts available. Right now we're only running 560, and for me that means my batteries are charged by 11 a.m. every day. And as you can see, it's a very cloudy day. Don't know what we're going to see. Yesterday I had about 21 amps of juice going into my batteries, and as I stated, they were charged up within about 3 hours from a 14% discharge. So we'll see if the sun comes out today and what I'll need. I try to stay within a 30% depth of discharge, no less than, when you look at that trimetric, no less than 70%. One time I ran down to 66. I like to run them lightly. You'll get more battery life if you don't run your batteries too hard. And that is a brief synopsis of my solar.